2015 Chevrolet, 10,000 miles on it. Wheel bearings, brakes, ball joints, and broken front springs. Well, it's not what it's here for, not yet, but give it a year or so and it's gonna be. But today, this little guy's here to have some running boards put on it, and the fella brought us some lights to put on with the running board too. So we're gonna take and open those up, see what they look like, and see what it takes to put your running boards and lights on your 2015 Chevy. These are Tough Bar, it says. 07-15 Chevy, crew cab, rocker panel mount. Surprised they sent a pink one and a white one. I would think you would want like either both pink or both white, you know. Well, here's the instructions, hardware kit, brackets and bolts. Yeah. This bubble wrap looks like it's been hanging out in the factory for a bit. This one says driver's side, so we'll assume it goes on the left. Based on the instructions, this thing goes up on the body mount, or on the body, which is odd. All the ones I've ever done go on the body mounts, you know. This one evidently bolted to the rockers. Nice. It's got like nut certs in it. Should be pretty easy, I guess. Alright, let's get started. Here's all the stuff they sent. All these brackets are the same. It has one oddball one here. This little guy here is different. And it says that goes on the passenger right front only lower mounting bracket. So it must be because of, you know, if this vehicle had a def tank, must be a little different up there. We got all our Chinese hardware here. Some flat washers, some little J nuts or whatever you call them. Little bracket and whatnot. So we'll get started on the driver's side and see if we can figure this out. Alright, that should be right. I don't really feel like much. I'm kind of lightweight. That'll get us started. So it appears to me these instructions are about 10 pages long, so we're going to cut to the chase. Just looking at the brackets, these are little brackets they made, and I lined the driver's side step up. This looks like where it needs to go. It appears that there's already threaded holes. There's a threaded hole here in the pinch weld, and then there's a threaded hole here in the body. And if we mount that there, it does line up with the tube step. So I think that's the method we're going to go with. So put a little dab of never sees on the fastener here. This is the supplied fasteners that came with it. Just some regular 8mm bolts and lock washers and flat washers here. We'll get all the brackets on kind of loose and see how the step lines up. Yeah, as I said, it might have some paint in these in those holes. Kind of loose like that. This is the second one back on the driver's side. I can see it lines up with the tube. Again, this one already has the holes, which makes it kind of nice. That bracket is so tacoed where they stamped it out. We actually got to back this up. Show you what I'm looking at. Where they stamp these things. It's that's probably kind of hard to see in the video, but this thing here is pretty U-shaped. So we'll put the bottom one in first, and we'll get that top one started. There we go. So it gives us some adjustment. So on this last one, there is no threaded hole. So we're going to use these, body panel nuts, whatever you call them, J nuts, whatever. And we got to take out this rubber plug here. If we get behind that, it's more like plastic. It's not really rubber. There we go. And then we'll slip this J nut in there, hopefully. Yeah, that's pretty much that. That same procedure as the ones with the threaded nuts, or the ones with the factory nuts. I can learn how to pick up a washer here. Flip that around there. Maybe. Nope. I'm gonna have to kind of do two things at once, I guess. We'll just lightly snug these up. We'll get our bars setting up on the mounts and get those bolts lined up, kind of tweak things around and snug it up. Let's see if we can do this. It says right in the directions, do not move, rotate, shift, touch, or breathe on this thing or you'll scratch it and void your warranty. The finish will be marred. A lot of warnings about this. Not rotating it around and moving it in the mounts, and all that kind of stuff. So we'll put some screws in it here. We'll get them all in it first. I've dealt with these aftermarket Chinese things before. Sometimes just lining up the holes half the battle. We'll get them all started and then start tweaking. So I think the first thing we'll tighten up is the mount going up onto the body. That's a position we can't change. That's a fixed point. The upper bolts, we've got those in tight enough where it's holding it against the body. So we'll start running those up a bit. And then do the top ones in. Because if you do the top ones first, and it's not tight up against the body, when you go to tighten this down, it'll, bend the pinch well, bend the lip down. We don't want that. So they're good. I guess one thing we've got to look at, these saddles that these sit in, they got slots, so it allows that step to kind of rotate to a certain degree. Pretty much, that much. So what I'll do is I'll look on top I'll set it down, look across the top, you know, so long as these look level, then we'll just, you know, tighten it up where it's at and call it good. I'll tell you, any of these I've ever put on, I've never put the ones on that bolt to the body. I like the ones that bolt to the body mount, particularly in, you know, in the rust belt. This guy trades trucks, so it doesn't matter. You know, this truck will be long gone before it sees rust. But, you know, anybody that's ever owned a Chevy truck knows, like, you know, these rockers, I mean, I don't even know what they're made out of. Swiss cheese. At least that's what they'll be in about 4 years. You know, this thing won't have a rocker left on it or a cab corner or, you know, anything like that. So it's always been, if I ever advise a customer, you know, what steps to buy, you know, always buy the ones that bolt to the body mount and then have like the little bracket that goes to the frame of the truck, because the frame is usually the last thing to rot out on these. I think this here is kind of a lightweight deal. You know, this is very, very, very thin sheet metal they make these out of. And where they bolt on, it's not even really laminated. You know, it's just a single piece of sheet metal. So structurally, it's not even really that strong on the bottom lip, but you know, the leverage force it uses where it's actually pushing in against the inside body, you know, inside this rocker, you know, that's where it gets its strength. But you wouldn't want some big old girl standing on those, because I think she'd crinkle. Well, I got them pretty well leveled up, best I can tell. We'll start snugging these up. No torque specs. Now that we bust out a torque wrench anyways, but I'll grab a ratchet and I'll check these by hand, that way we don't go, you know, snapping it off. And that's it. We'll just do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll check out, see what these fancy lights are. You know, it seems for like, you know, the 40 grand or whatever it is these trucks cost, seems like they come with steps. You don't get much nowadays when you buy a truck, I guess. We'll leave that at that. Like I said, we'll just tighten up these brackets. I'll go back through and, you know, just snug up these steps, same thing. Not a huge deal. I think the last ones of these I put on also that were body mounted, they had like a rubber spacer that went in between each connection, but these ones didn't. There was nothing else in there, so. Like I say, this truck won't be around long anyway, so this guy likes to drive his new Chevys. So we're over here on the passenger side now. Well, this one's a little different. This is the one that took this trick mount. Threaded hole, threaded hole. But when we stick this little guy up here, it doesn't, you know, things don't line up. Like I say, this must be because of a vehicle that has the depth tank and diesel. So they've got this little add-on bracket here. So we'll stick that on there. We'll get that started. Grab our little ratchet. Leave that like so. And then that allows us to install the bracket like this. It's got a bolt that comes from this side, from bracket to bracket, and then we've got this bolt here. It should line up into the bottom into that pre-welded bolt here on the pinch weld. Get my fingers up in here, it will. That's better. Sometimes it's got to wiggle around a little. It'll slip right in. Beautiful. So the other two mounts on the passenger side are exactly the same as the driver's side. No real difference there. Just that front one, which looks like it may need a little bit of left it loose, might need a little tweak in there. Left them all loose, so we'll get them lined up. Just gonna do the same thing. Nothing too special about these. Well, there you have it. That's the body mounted 4-inch oval side steps on a 2015 Chevy. These are the ones that we used, I guess. I don't know where you got them. You can probably Google that, see what they are. Just a Chinese side step. Yep, they fit as intended. Brackets fit. No swearing or bending involved. And the good news is there's only one handful of parts left over, so that's better than a bucket load. And now we've got the big rig. Super lights to put on. I don't know what these are, but that Chevy there looks sweet. That right there says, "Hello, ladies."